Well, like my late great pop used to say, the Reverend Willie E. Epting Sr., all good things must and do come to an end. And we are at the end of the 4 Super Show series for the NFL Season Preview. Willie Epting Jr., ShakeBack Media Group, got the brilliant minds again behind the scenes, backstage. We have one of the co-stars of the show. That is, of course, is Brian. We've got the Monroe Madman. That is Greg. And we've got Michael James Hamilton II, otherwise known as Big Mike, school clothes, all of that. So we're going to bring the boys in here in just a couple minutes. But before we do that, we got to do this. You already know what it is. I don't know why y'all act like y'all don't know, but just in case you forgot, here we go. Time to go. Let's go get it.
Right about now, you're about to be possessed by the sounds.
Yeah, I know what it is. You little suckers get to talking, crabbing, not walking, strapped to the pong, getting jaws, and smacking, they sleep with the coffins. And they getting greedy like saying, give me
y'all. I just keep on getting chills every time I hear that. And although some of the images in that video may be a little outdated, look, I'm Oakland, East Bay from now until death. And even though there will be no more teams in the East Bay after this season, no more professional teams, it does not matter to me. That place will always have a special place in my heart, and that is just what it is. All right, Super Show 4, a Show Sho Nuff Divided. We've got Brian, we've got Greg, and we've got Michael James Hamilton II. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's going on, good, bro? What's happening?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to wade through the water. I am trying to wade through the water. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling because we got a lot to get into. Let's start with Big Mike. How things going in your life? What's good? What's new? What's old? Can you loan me about $250,000?
Man, I wish I had $250,000 to loan, man, because $250,000 is always good. But I mean, I just ain't got it at the present time. But get back with me later, though. But life is life, and man, I'm still here. Every day is a blessing. I try to look at life like that, man. You know, got several things cooking, man. Can't wait for the new season of my podcast to get started and everything, man. But ready for football more than anything.
Yes, ready sir. For football. And that is why we are here. General of Stutzman's Army, Brian, the co-star, one of the co-stars of Show Sho Nuff Divided. Welcome back to season 3. What's going on, buddy?
Man, I don't really know what I do outside of football season. Like, I look back upon it, and it's like it's just a blur. I have no idea what I do without football, so I'm glad it's back.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think a lot of people share those same sentiments, if not, whatever the case may be. All right. And then, of course, bringing up the caboose. None other than the madman himself out of the Rose City, Greg Andrews. Greg, what's up, man? What's been going on with you this summer?
Man, I'm like Brian and Big Mike. It is football season. It is time to get going. The rest of the stuff don't matter. Football season is here. That's all that matters. And I'd like to take this second. I know it's an NFL show, but I got to welcome my boy Brian to the SEC. This is going to be an exciting year. See Texas and OU in the SEC this year.
It'll be a fun year.
Yep.
I saw a
What's that?
No, he's an Alabama fan.
Never
he's a what?
I'm already striking out with Big Mike. He's never going to talk to me again.
Well, I saw a mock draft. I saw a mock draft earlier today. The way too early mock draft, and it had Quinn Ewers going to the Raiders at number 7. I like Quinn. I like Quinn Ewers. I saw Quinn play when he was in high school. His high school played my son's high school in the playoffs, and I think he put up 69 against Rockwall Heath. Yeah. So it wasn't pretty. All right, fellas, let's get right into the show because, like I said, we got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. It's like what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Oh my goodness! From Smokey and the Bandit, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Come on, man.
Snowman, you got your ears on out there. And there's your Smokey and the Bandit reference for this episode. All right. That's actually one of my favorite movies of all time, so I don't care. All right, let's gauge our squads. Let's start with Greg. And then after that we can go with Brian because they're both Jags fans, and I kind of want to see if they copied off each other's paper. So, Greg, what's the biggest storyline for the Jags from the offseason and into the preseason going into the season?
2 things, and they both revolve around Trevor Lawrence. Can Trevor stay healthy, and can Trevor be the guy that everybody thinks he can be? Because if he can't, there is a more than capable backup standing in the wings waiting to get in there right now. That's Mr. Mac Jones from the University of Alabama. Just saying. Dude put up phenomenal numbers in the preseason. There is no quarterback controversy. Let me say that. There is no quarterback controversy in Jacksonville. But there was a fellow by the name of Jalen Hurts that got drafted in Philadelphia behind Carson Wentz. And there was not going to be one there either. I'm just going to leave it at that.
What school did Jalen Hurts go to?
The University of Alabama.
And what else?
And the University of Oklahoma.
All right. So before I shoot holes in your Mac Jones theory, Brian, did you copy off of Greg's paper?
No, I didn't. I went a different route. I actually went to the other side of the ball. I think honestly the biggest and it's really kind of what do we do on defense with a new coordinator with Ryan Nielsen? How does his 4-3 scheme come in? And you're incorporating both Trevon Walker and I think he changed his name Hines Allen now Josh Hines Allen. Hyphenated it anyway. That and bringing in Eric Armstead. I mean, how does that all work? With the 4-3 defense, who's going to start on the other side? At corner, there's going to be a lot of new faces, I think, in the secondary, but they're deep in the secondary. I think they could all play. It's just a matter of who's going to be out there with Cisco and the guys. So that's kind of what I think is the biggest storyline.
Okay. Now back to Greg. my fellow Washita Lion. I'm gonna talk to you like my name is Jeff Saturday, and your name is Mike Greenberg. Because you said Mac Jones is a capable backup. Uh-huh. Are you high?
Did you know? Okay, so I guess you're basing on his downfall last year at the train wreck that is the New England Patriots. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't know that Joe Montana in his prime could have helped the Patriots back then last season. So Mac Jones, look at the numbers. He had a fantastic preseason. He's not the starter, but he's better than C.J. Beathard we had last year as a backup. That is for sure. And Brian is spot on about the defense. If we can't stop anybody, it don't matter how many points we score. So I got faith in Dougie Fresh. I think he's going to get it done. So
Willie, can I add to that with Mac Jones too?
Sure, go ahead.
Now we've seen Mac Jones fail again in New England with some of the worst offensive line play he's probably seen in his entire career. Now what he did at Alabama, he played really well at Alabama, and that's because they had an amazing offensive line for pretty much the entire time he was there. So offensive line's a lot better in Jacksonville. If it came to it and we had to go to Mac Jones, I think you would see a better Mac Jones than you would when he was in New England.
All right, enough of that. Mike, what's the big story? What's the biggest storyline coming out of the South Bay for your 49ers? Oh, hold up. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, everybody got paid. Everybody got their money, man. It's time to go play football now. So, this group, we've been together probably about 5 years. And, we're in a unique position where it's win the Super Bowl or bust. It's nothing else. Nothing in between. It's go win the Super Bowl. Not go to the Super Bowl, not go to the end. Win the Super Bowl or bust. That's where we're at. So I'm eagerly looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing Brock Purdy's progression, seeing him get better. Those are what I'm looking for this season, because regular season wins not gonna really do a whole lot for me, man. We done been in the Super Bowl 2 times in 5 years, NFC Championship game 4 years. So I'm glad everybody got their money, but now it's time to play.
Just in case you might be wondering why I'm laughing so hard, because Brian hates the name Brock Purdy. He says Brock Purdy is the most overrated athlete in all of sports, whether it's organized or unorganized.
Is that your sentiment, Brian?
It absolutely is. I can't stand Brock Purdy with everything in my being. Everything. I don't even like his name. I don't like his name being brought up.
Now, I ask, where does that come from?
This comes deep in his Iowa State days.
I figured it had to be some. Yeah, figured it had to be some college stuff.
I'll be honest. If they had beaten the Chiefs, I was going to give him a pass and let him have a clear. I was going to clear it all. All the hatred would have been gone, but he couldn't get it done.
Well, hey,
it wasn't his fault.
It's not all on him. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
that was his only way in. Hey,
yeah. So
I love
McCaffrey. McCaffrey's one of my favorite players outside of the Jaguars. So
if I was on the end of the thrashing that Brock Purdy took down there to Jacksonville, I wouldn't like him either. But he did that. That wasn't overrated or overinflated. That was real, right there in front of you.
I happen to think that if the result of that game would have been different, Brian probably would hate even the letters B and P. Like if he's singing the alphabet song, he's going to say A, C, D, E, and all the way till you get to P, and then he's going to skip over that too.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
Pressure would have been better than Brock Purdy at that point.
Who's your college team?
OU? You don't see it in the background?
Oh, 0U? Oh man, ain't nobody worried about them clowns, man.
Okay, hold on. I don't want us to do that. I don't want us to start hurling insults about our college teams, because as we know, there's only one national champion from last year, and it's in Ann Arbor. So y'all can just rest yourselves on that. Okay. By the way, thank you guys out there for
dynasty, and that's in Tuscaloosa.
Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook, through my personal page, through the media group's page, as well as the YouTube for Mafia Members Podcast, the ShakeBack Media Group's channel, as well as Twitter, ShakeBack Media Group on Instagram TV. My brother, one of my twin brothers, is watching. I see you, Brian. And of course, I see we got an audience for Greg's Facebook page. So we appreciate all you guys out there checking us out. And also, would be remiss if I didn't say this. I got to plug the people that's paying the bills, because the person that's paying the bills is me. So with that being said, all shows on the ShakeBack Media Group are powered by the ShakeBack Life Coaching Practice. Our goal is to coach you to be the best you that you have ever met. Now offering 20% off for clients and for those that desire to become a certified life coach. Contact us for details. Use the code #ShakeBack. Okay, now back to the matters at hand. I got some questions for y'all, or I have a question for y'all now. There's a lot of speculation about coaches who may or may not be on the hot seat. So, Greg, for the coaches who we know or have been reported to be on the hot seat, which one of those seats or which coach has the hottest seat? And the coach that you named, do you think they will make it through the season?
The coach that I'm going to name, I pray to the big man upstairs in the name of all things holy. He don't make it till Sunday, but it ain't going to happen. That is Dennis Allen in New Orleans. He has got to go. I mean, you have got to go. There is nothing about Dennis Allen that is helping the Saints in any shape, form, or fashion. They are a complete dumpster fire down there right now. And you can take Derek Carr back too. He is absolutely worthless. Give me Spencer Rattler all day long.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. So we know that he's not going to be fired by Sunday, Greg. So does he make it through the season?
Unfortunately, I don't think he makes it through the season. I think they're going to start off bad, and I think that. Well, let me take that back. Gail Benson historically doesn't fire people in the season, so I don't think he makes it to next season. I think this is it for him. It's Super Bowl or bust, and they ain't sniffing the playoffs as far as I'm concerned. But we'll see. I mean, are they going to beat Tampa Bay? I doubt it. Are they going to beat Atlanta? I doubt it. So they might beat Carolina, maybe. We'll see. I just think Bryce Allen is flaming under his seat right now. It's so hot.
Yeah, I heard Bryce Young had a pretty good offseason. So, and he's got some weapons in there now, and they got the offensive coordinator from those Buccaneers that helped resurge Baker Mayfield's season last year. They got to the playoffs and had a close game against the Lions. So you might be right, man. It could be one of those 1-15 bring out the bags for the New Orleans Saints. And for me, I will never forget how when we moved to Louisiana from California, and I see all these people wearing these bags over their heads. I'm like, my team just won the Super Bowl, so I don't know what this. I have no idea what they feeling. And then I finally figured out that it was because of the Saints, and that will forever be etched in my memory as why can we get New Orleans a football team before we get them a hockey team? All right, Big Mike. Coach's seat that is going to be the hottest, and will they make it through the season?
Oh man, I'm gonna give you a different answer than I gave you the previous show we did. This time I'm gonna go with Robert Saleh. He's got to make significant strides into the playoffs, or he out of there, man. Aaron Rodgers or not, I think this is the season that he has to get them into the playoffs and do something in the playoffs. So I think his season is extremely hot.
Yeah, he has no more excuses. Only if Aaron gets injured and is out for the year again. But even still, they ain't gonna let that. I mean, because at some point, dude, you're the cause of everything. You're the cause of our quarterback getting injured. You're the reason why it's snowing outside in September. You're the reason why it's foggy in San Francisco. I mean, you're the reason for it all. Dude, you gotta go. You gotta go, period. All right, Brian, whose seat is the hottest?
It's got to be Mike McCarthy. I mean, Dallas just keeps on. They just keep on going and doing well in the regular season, and then they fail in the first round of the playoffs or fail early in the playoffs. It's at this point. I mean, I haven't heard any talks of McCarthy even having an extension. It's his last year of his contract. I mean, at this point, it's it for him. You know, he has to do something, and it's more than just make it to the playoffs, because that's what they do every year. So they just lose. So if they get past the playoffs, maybe he stays. I do think, by your question, he does make it through the season, because I do think the Cowboys end up making the playoffs. So he'll make it through the season. But after the season, if they don't win the Super Bowl or even get there, yeah, he's gone.
Well, he ain't gonna. He's gone, because they ain't winning the Super Bowl, nor are they getting there. And a little bit later in the show, I'm gonna tell you even whether or not they even make the playoffs. Yeah, that's what I said. Are they going to even make the playoffs? That is going to be coming up a little bit later in the show. Well, but Jim Moore wants to tell you guys right now this.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Seriously, I mean, that's where Cowboys fans are. All right, I think I want to go a different direction than I went in the last shows too, because as things have progressed since we first started the series back last week, I'm gonna go to San Francisco, Mike. Not that he's not going to, of course he's going to make it through the year. But if Kyle Shanahan gets to the playoffs and they falter, he's out of there. If they get to the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl and lose, I still think he's out of there. You don't think so?
Jed York loves him too much. He keeps Jed York relevant. You know,
man,
he's got a lot of cachet with the front office. Now, I believe the public sentiment is actually coming my way, because I'm a harsh Kyle Shanahan critic. As good of a coach as he is, he leaves a lot to be desired. He cannot close, and I hold that personally against him, because every time it's happened, he's always been at the scene of the crime. So I hold him to that. But Jed York likes him too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he keeps Jed York viable. You know, just think about this real quick. Jed York is in the family with Eddie DeBartolo. So Eddie DeBartolo is his uncle. He won 5 Super Bowls. Jed is still chasing 1. He's lost 3 as an owner. So he knows he's close, and he understands that Kyle keeps us relevant. He keeps us winning. And for him, a lot of that is good enough. He wants 1, but he likes being a part of the conversation constantly. I watch this. He's not a forceful owner, because if he was a forceful owner, Kyle Shanahan would have had to have won one of these Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, that brings me to a question that's not on the outline. So, since the San Francisco 49ers have been to, if they get there this year, right, that'll be 3 Super Bowl appearances in the last 5 years or 6 years. 5 years.
5 years.
And if they lose, can we start mentioning them in the same conversation as the Buffalo Bills?
Because it'll be 3 in I think 6 years, but if you go back to the Harbaugh, that'll be 4. See, we done lost 4 Super Bowls. So that right there for the fans, I think that's what the fans hold Kyle Shanahan to. Look, man, we come from a lineage where winning is the goal, not getting to the Super Bowl, and not getting to the Super Bowl and eating that cheese. But Jed York likes him. That's the thing. Jed York likes him.
Brian, what do you think about when?
So
when Jed York's dad still had control, York had to answer to somebody. But his dad, he bought the control from his parents. So now they don't lord over him like that. And I said, Kyle will have to mess up for a few years for him to get gone.
Brian, what do you think about that question? If that happens,
you know, I mean, they're obviously in the same breath at that rate than with the Buffalo Bills, but I don't think it's the exact same. I mean, losing 4 straight is 4 straight, losing 4. Like, that's just, I mean, I don't know how those fans that are still around. I don't know how they recovered from that, honestly. That's tough right there. So yeah. I think it's close, because I mean, what 3 out of the last 6 and not winning, it's tough. But I mean, not as bad as Buffalo.
Greg, what's your thoughts on that?
Everything. I agree with everything Brian said. I mean, you take Scott Norwood out of the game and maybe throw another kicker in there. Maybe Buffalo. We're not talking about them like that, but he missed it, and that's what you get 4 in a row. But hey, but you got to say something. It means something to get there, right? I'm not all for about moral victories, but I mean, hell, Buffalo got there 4 years in a row. How hard is that to do, right? I mean, San Francisco's been there. I mean, it's hard to do. And like Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Somebody got to beat San Francisco. And until they do that, I don't know it ain't going to happen in New Orleans. They're not going to beat them. The Cowboys ain't going to beat them. Maybe the Eagles. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see anybody in the NFC challenging the 49ers like they need to be challenged.
Right.
I think Detroit is going to be good.
I'm not buying the Kool-Aid. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Y'all getting ahead of me now. Hold on. Don't get ahead of me now. I got to steer this ship so we don't run into the light poles out there in the middle of the ocean. All right. I thought that was an interesting conversation because I had said it at some point last year. Should the Cowboys, so should we mention the 49ers along, or better yet, are Cowboys fans were Cowboy fans feeling like they had some company because they haven't been to the Super Bowl since 1995, and then the 49ers, who is their arch nemesis, and they're both tied with 5 Super Bowls as a franchise, are they thinking, Cowboys fans thinking that, hey, you 49ers fans, y'all are just like us? But it's not the same thing because they've been to the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys can't get past the first round or the second round. All right. Up next is Funky or Fresh. And I'm going to make some statements, y'all. And you got to tell me whether it's funky, that means you don't believe in it, or whether it is fresh, meaning that you do believe in it. So again, funky, you don't believe in it. Fresh, you do believe in it. I got some help from my boys. Here's one of them right here.
You sell out if you want to, homie, but I'ma stay short but funky.
And another one of my boys. And then, of course, we have them boys from the ATL. Or is it the crew from the 80s?
Exciting.
Funky or Fresh. Funky or Fresh, Greg. No. Jared Goff will have more passing yards and touchdowns than Dak Prescott.
That's funky. Dak puts up numbers. He just can't win in big games. I mean, look at they led the league in offense, didn't they? Or he was one of the league leaders in offense, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he puts up big numbers, but he just can't win. And it's Dallas. Who cares? But anyway. I mean, does anybody really like the Cowboys? I mean, I don't know personally any Cowboy fans.
They're all
they act like they're America's team.
They're all either here in Oklahoma or Texas. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Oh, they're everywhere. Let's not get it twisted. They are everywhere.
They're just in hiding until like late in the season when they feel like they're gonna make the playoffs.
They're like LSU fans. They stay in hiding because they don't win anything. But anyway, I digress.
All right. So, funky or fresh? He says funky. Greg says funky. All right, Brian, funky or fresh? Breece Hall will have more fantasy points than any other running back by the end of the year.
I'm going to say funky.
You know, he's high on a lot of people's draft boards in that fantasy stuff. I mean, I haven't played in quite some time, and he would be.
I was going to say, as long as Christian McCaffrey is healthy, he won't be past him in fantasy. So he won't be.
And I think some people may be banking on that. And So yeah. All right, Mike. One last one for you, sir. Matthew Stafford. No, I think I asked you this question the other day. Anthony Richardson will draw so many comparisons to Cam Newton this season. Funky or fresh?
Fresh. The man said it himself. He's a mix of Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson. I'm just ready to see him play. I like him myself. I'm ready for him to be healthy and see what he got and see what he's learned and how he's progressed. But I think he's going to be a star.
Yeah, I think that offensive coordinator that he's got from Philadelphia, Mr. or Coach Steichen. We saw what he did with Jalen Hurts the year they went to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think for the Colts, they don't have nearly the weapons currently than that Eagles team may have had. But yeah, he's going to put him in a position to be a star. So there. Now, let me ask you this: Is he eligible for the Rookie of the Year award?
No,
he's not.
I think so. No.
Thank God we're not like basketball. Hell, you could be 3 years removed and still get the Rookie of the Year. No, he's ineligible. He played 4 games.
Hey, fun fact: he's only had 17 starts since high school.
Young,
he's Anthony Richardson.
He's just like Trey Lance. He haven't played. But he's more talented.
And he played against better competition. And speaking of Florida, did y'all see them get boat raced by Miami on Saturday?
About Florida State.
I don't know.
What do you expect? They hired a ULL coach. I mean, what do you think he was going to do, for crying out loud?
I mean, ULL has been to some bowl games in the last few years.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they have. Who gives a crap? They're terrible. I hate the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, go Warhawks.
That's right. You see the new Warhawk logo on the wall right there? Let's go.
Hey, they got our quarterback, General Booty. I'm all for him. I got a pair of his underwear.
It is booty time in Monroe, Louisiana, baby. Willie, you should be back home. You would be loving this right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. Let's move on. We actually have a part of the show where I like to do this. It is a segment that you all know of. It is called Did You See That? And it is something usually inside or outside the sports world that made you say, "Oh my God, did you see that?" And I have a video that I am going to show. And I want to know, did you guys see this? And if you did, what do you think of it? And if you didn't, and this is your first time seeing it, what do you think of it now? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to this edition of Did You See That?
Offset. Those are the first unsportsmanlike conduct fouls for each of those players. It is second down. First down.
Well, if Barnett had just fallen down, he may have been all right. But there's a little acting there.
What do you expect from the Fun Belt, baby? That's what we're all about.
You tell me.
Too much.
He must be a fan. He must be a fan of early 2000s WWE.
Or he watches soccer or one or two. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah. I just want to say a prayer to his family. Like, just make sure he's okay.
Did y'all see that?
Wow. That's almost as the guy that drew a penalty from a player and then did the gritty walking out the field. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Pretty great.
No, I didn't see that one, but that probably would have been one that would have made a cut had I been able to find it. Okay. I actually have another one that I want to show you guys. And I'm gonna see if it pulls up. It may not. But this one is courtesy of the ShakeBack Media Group, as we have been approved to cover one of the most prestigious high schools, not only in Texas, but in the country, in the DeSoto Eagles. Shout out to Coach Tony Holmes, who has made this possible for us. We went to the game this past Saturday. They played against Fairbairn. No, it was oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the school. They're the Cherokees. But they're from suburban Atlanta. They came to Texas, and they got beat 70-0. And I was talking to some of the parents before the game started, and they were like, "Yeah, we won, or we lost in the state championship game last year." And I was out there, and I said, "Yo, these go right here. Here it is. This is DeSoto wide receiver, Mr. Roy." I'm sorry, his name is actually Christoph Fantroy. What they did to that team from suburban Atlanta, they should have been put in jail over, because I left in the third quarter, y'all. The game was 49-0 at halftime. DeSoto easily could have put up 100 on them if they wanted to.
So let me get this straight, Willie. They flew a team in from Atlanta.
I don't think they flew it. I think they rode the bus
from Atlanta to Dallas to get a freaking dirty South ass whooping like that. Oh, man. My God, their coach needs to be shot.
If you're gonna come down here and play against the Texas football team, especially one of that caliber, you're gonna need to have a state all-star team, or you're gonna have to be like an IMG Academy or somebody. Just a good football team from another state, man. You're not coming down. DeSoto at the top, they the cream of the crop. Them Duncanville, them dudes, the creme de la creme. You come down here, you're gonna get that work.
Yeah, Willie knows there's some good high school teams in Louisiana. We go to Texas and it don't fare too good. I mean,
yeah,
because the athletes don't match up.
Beats everybody. Longview. I mean, come on. Nah.
DeSoto is ranked first in the state. I think they're fifth in the country. And they're in the same district as Duncanville. That game is on October the 11th. We will be in the building. I got media passes for the entire season. We will be there. And Duncanville is ranked, I want to say, second in the state and maybe seventh in the country, and they are in the same district. There's D1 superstars all over that field in that game.
All over.
I mean,
you got a high school got 6,000-7,000 kids in it. It's gonna be some monsters in there, man. It's gonna be it's 7,000. My daughter graduated from Duncanville, and I think her class was like 6,400 kids. You gonna get your 75, 80 really good ball players out of that. Then they recruit and get people coming in too.
And that's the thing with DeSoto.
One high school cities.
Yeah, and DeSoto, that's the thing with DeSoto too, guys. I know we got off the rails, but we're gonna get back to the NFL in just a second. And DeSoto has basically no boundaries when it comes to being able to get different athletes from across the Metroplex. I think their quarterback is from either Euless or Bedford or somewhere like that. So those kids, they drive from the mid cities to DeSoto for school. And then, I mean, it's crazy. And Duncanville, I think, does the same thing. So it's gonna be a bloodbath come October the 11th, and I mean that in the most affectionate way possible. All right, let's continue on forth. I'm gonna do away with the true or false. We're gonna get right into the predictions, and we're gonna start with the individual awards. Big Mike, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who you got?
Either Xavier Worthy or Jaden Daniels.
Well, you got to pick one, man.
I can't say which one. It's one of those two. Those are two guys I think gonna have the biggest impact. I think Xavier Worthy, man. All Patrick Mahomes needs is a dude that can run real fast, real quick. and Jaden Daniels, he gonna have the keys to the Commanders, and I think he's a good football player on top of all of that. So I think they really gonna make some big time noise.
All right, Greg, Offensive Rookie of the Year, who you got?
I think it's got to be Jaden Daniels. I mean, if he don't get broken in half, I think he's going to be a good ball player. I mean, and I am the least – I hate LSU with every being, fiber in my being, but that kid can play, and I think he's going to make a difference in Washington. He's really good.
Brian?
I mean, I'm going to stick with who's first on the list. I think it's Caleb Williams. I think he has better people around him than Jaden Daniels does in Washington. And I just think he has the intangibles to be a really great quarterback in this league. So, he's definitely in my offense rookie of the year.
I actually think that could work to his detriment with him having better players around him, because that's going to be that could very well be the argument, and it's not like the weapons in Washington are bad. I mean, they got a pretty good tight end. Terry McLaurin is a really, really good wide receiver. We know what DJ Moore is. Keenan, what's Keenan's last name, y'all? Keenan Allen. I don't know why I said Keenan. I almost want to say Keenan Ivory Wayans.
No.
Old people problems. No. Keenan Allen is he's obviously one of the better route runners out there, but I think that kind of works to his detriment if they have the success that people think that they're gonna have. I got Jaden Daniels as well. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Big Mike. Who's your choice?
I'm going with my boy Byron Murphy, DT Longhorn. You know what I'm saying? I think he gonna make noise up there in Seattle, man. That dude, he penetrates that backfield.
Yeah, he's a monster in the middle, and he might be one of the best defensive players that they've had since the Legion of Boom. If he can live to that potential. Greg, who's your selection for Defensive Rookie of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Man, I got to dance with the one that brung me. That's going to be Dallas Turner, University of Alabama. He's going to be Will Anderson last year, Dallas Turner this year. I mean, look out. Nick Saban didn't do nothing but groove defenses, so we'll see. He puts them in the league and they get paid. So I think Dallas is going to be the next one to get that money.
Dallas Turner, edge from the University of Alabama, now with the Minnesota Vikings. I saw him blow past our backup lineman in that game. Unfortunately for J.J. McCarthy, he got injured in that game, so prayers up for him. He's going to be out for the season. University of Michigan, go blue. All right, Brian, who is your choice for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Man, I got to go with Latu. All right, I say it right.
Yeah, you said it right.
Latu. Yes, I got it right this time. Got to go with him. From UCLA. I mean, he's with the Colts. I feel like he'll have a good year. They typically give it to edge rushers too. So if it isn't him, it'll be Dallas Turner.
Yeah, I went with him as well. Big Mike. Oh, you already went. All right, Coach of the Year, Mike.
I don't remember what I said the other night, but I'm gonna go DeMeco Ryans. If he can get him to the playoffs again, win him 11 games, maybe 12 games. I think he has a good shot at it.
Mm-hmm. He should have won it last year.
And a lot of times they make you prove it, and then they give it to you.
Mm-hmm. Greg, your selection of Coach of the Year.
I get it. Him, that guy in the background. Dougie Fresh, I think he's going to be the one that dethrones the Texans this year. I think he's going to get it done. They've had a fantastic preseason, new look offense. So that's where I'm sticking with my guns. I think Dougie Fresh going to take it home. He's been due for a couple of years. He should have won it at least once in Philly. It turned the Jaguars around his first year. I mean, I thought he did a really good job. And you're absolutely right. DeMeco should have got it last year. But I just think it's going to be Doug's year. I hope. That's who I got.
Brian?
I'm going to say Raheem Morris. I think that he's been in the league a long time, and the Falcons they need someone, and they got Kirk there. I think they have a pretty decent year. I think they get to the playoffs. So, yeah, Raheem
They're gonna
Morris.
beat the Saints for sure. I can promise you that.
Yeah, well, rivalry is something else. I mean, it's like the Hatfield and McCoys between the Falcons and the Saints. That's my coach of the year too, by the way, Raheem Morris. I think this is the year for him. Like Brian said, he's been in the league a while. I think he's learned from his previous stops there in Arizona as a coach, and if anybody deserves an opportunity to make amends for what they've done, it's this guy. All right. Up next is Comeback Player of the Year. Mike, who's your choice?
Comeback Player of the Year. Aaron Rodgers. He, this will be another feather in his cap. If he can just stay upright all season and have a good year. Now, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers career-wise fan because he's the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. But he ain't had a good year in about 3 years. So people need to not get lost on that. It's been about 3 years since he really balled out. And I know we tend to give a little slack, or a little leeway to guys that we've seen do it. But this is getting to be now, it's been quite some time that he hasn't played really well. I know he didn't play at all last year, but that counts. And then the season, the last season in Green Bay, he was garbage. Then not the season before he played well. But we're going to see. But I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he won 2 straight MVPs in Green Bay in his latter years up there. So a lot still on the line. I know he feels like he has a lot to prove. So we'll see. Can I go next? That's actually my choice as well, Aaron Rodgers. But as we've gotten to this point of doing these episodes, I feel like I should have changed, but I'm not going to do that because I don't know. All right, Greg, Comeback Player of the Year. Your selection.
I think Big Mike is cheating off me because I had Aaron Rodgers written down too. I hate to just chime in with you guys, but the guy's got a lot to prove, and he's still got some gas in the tank, I think. And I think it's who said earlier about the coach. It was he was on the hot seat.
It was Mike.
Yeah. If Aaron doesn't show out, man, I don't know what happens to that coach. I think he's fired. But I know that Aaron can show out. We know he can play. I think he's just. I think it's his to lose. If he puts up good numbers, I think it's a no-brainer. Because after what happened last year, 2 minutes in the game, he's done for the year. Yeah. I think it's his to lose.
Brian.
So I'm going to go a different direction. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have an amazing year. So I don't think that he wins it. I think it's going to be Kirk Cousins comes back and wins it.
Yeah, and they both had the same injury, and they're 2 years apart, I think, in age. The Falcons.
He's A-Rod is 4 years, I think, older. 3 or 4 years older than him.
What? A-Rod's 40, right? Oh yeah, Kirk Cousins is like 36. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Right. So I think for Kirk, is he gonna have a better offensive line? Probably. Does he have better weapons? Maybe. Kyle Pitts, he injured his hamstring, so he's on hamstring alert, hamstring watch. You know how that can be throughout the season. So I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, I got a question real quick while we're talking about Comeback Player of the Year. Has anybody got any faith in Russell Wilson?
I do.
If he shows out in Pittsburgh, that might be a good candidate.
My reasoning being is there's been a narrative that he stunk in Denver. He did under Nathaniel Hackett, he did. But he had 26 touchdowns and 8 picks last year. If you remember the first 6 games of the year, the defense stunk. Then in the middle of the
They
season, towards
they
the
gave
end,
up 70 to Miami.
right? That's like he don't play defense. Then in the middle to the last part of the season, they got it together, and he was doing what Russell does, handing the ball off, making some all-script plays. You know what I'm saying? Keeping them in ball games, and they won some of those games because I think they won. It's either 9 or 10 games last year. And if you look back at what
they won,
what did they
7, 6, 7 or 8.
They won more.
I think
they won more than that because the last game of the season they still could have went to the playoffs, so they had to win more than 7 or 8 games. But they did.
Okay.
No, they lost their last 2 games. They lost the
Mhm.
last 2 games, and that's what knocked them out of it. But anyway, he played well. And for what Mike Tomlin wants is somebody that can run the offense, somebody that can make 2 or 3 plays happen a game, and somebody that has a knowledge of what's going on and some leadership. He can do that because they're going to be a top 5 defense. And if they get the ball to Najee Harris like he's supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the running game. He did that with Marshawn Lynch. You can't put it on Russ and make him, okay, Russ, go win games for us. Get in there and tell him, do what you do and lead us to these wins. I think he can do that. They can win 9 or 10 games if everybody else do their job. He's not going to be spectacular. He's not going to no Pro Bowl. But I think he can do the job.
Coach Tomlin, like you said, Coach Tomlin wants a game manager, and that's what Russell is. Russell's a game manager. He's not going to be. He's going to protect the ball. He's not going to do anything stupid. And he's got talent. I mean, Lord have mercy, you can't be as good as he was in Seattle and not have something. You don't just quit.
Exactly.
So I mean, so what was it? It had to have been Nathaniel Hackett in Denver, and Sean Payton didn't like him to start with. But
Hackett was terrible, and Payton didn't want it. And any sport you play, if the coach don't want you, you're not going to thrive.
You're done. That's right. And you're right. If Harris steps up and takes some pressure off Russell, I think
he can do it.
They're going to click. Yep. And we know Tomlin's a hell of a coach. So I mean,
they're gonna be that. That defense is going to be top 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah. All right. Let's keep on going. Defensive player of the year. Mike, your choice is?
Defensive player of the year. Fred Warner. It's time for Fred Warner to get him one. It's time for Fred to get him one. Fred been the best middle linebacker probably about 3 years. And it's time for a linebacker to get that. Not a non-pass rushing linebacker. It's time for an off-the-ball linebacker to win. So I'm going to say Fred Warner.
Here's my question to you. Do you think Dre Greenlaw being out is going to have an effect on his play?
No, because youngsters we got getting ready to play next to him, they gonna do the job. Let me tell you something. San Francisco, I don't know. It's Johnny Holland. We make linebackers. Dre Greenlaw was just a kid from Arkansas when we got it. He had raw talent. They turned him into that. So I trust, just like running back with Bob Turner, I trust them with linebackers. We got 3 young guys that's gonna battle for that spot playing next to him, and they may not start the season because we got a veteran from the Packers that might get the nod, but he won't be to have that job all season. One of those youngsters is gonna take that from him. So Fred Warner, he's gonna be okay.
Okay. Greg, your choice for defensive player of the year.
I was torn between 2, and I think I'm gonna go with my heart and say Josh Allen, Hines Allen, whatever he goes by now. I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. I mean, he's been on the cusp. He's always among the league leaders in defensive stuff. The guy's a natural leader with his team. I just think it's his year to have a breakout year. And if I'm putting all my chips in the Jacksonville basket, the defense has got to step up. So that means he's having a big year. So that's what I'm going with. I'm taking with my narrative there, Willie.
Yeah, you know what? I was going with the exact same thing. Josh Hines Allen. It's his year. He had 17.5 sacks last year. He even had an interception. He's primed and ready. Now they went to a 4-3. You got Eric Armstead in there. I just think he's not going to get double teamed. I mean, it's his year to win it.
And don't sleep on Will Anderson either.
It's either Bama or Jaguars for Greg. That's.
Well, I mean, can you dispute my results? I mean, Will Anderson.
Heck with the Texans. No.
I hate the Texans too, but I mean, Will Anderson can freaking play. He's good.
I'm just poking at you for real though, but you have a point because Danielle Hunter is now in Houston on that line. And that leads me to my choice of Max Crosby being the defensive player of the year because of the additions on the defensive line for the Raiders in the form of Christian Wilkins over from Miami. The fact that Malcolm Koonce had a breakout half a year last year with the havoc that he put on Patrick Mahomes on Christmas Day last year. I just hope that the young player from Texas Tech can somehow round into shape. That, of course, is Tyree Wilson, the 7th overall draft pick from the 22 draft. I hope he can round into shape. For Max, no more double teams, no more triple teams. Max Crosby never comes off the field. He can play the pass and he can play the run. I've even seen him drop into coverage. And if he they go F around and find out if they drop him into coverage and he gets one of those interceptions and pick 6 along with 17 sacks. Yeah, it's very, very conceivable that he could be the defensive rookie or defensive player of the year. All right. Offensive player of the year. Y'all mind if I go first? Yes, no, maybe so. I got the cheetah. I got the cheetah. I think this is the year that he gets to 2,000 receiving yards. Brian,
I'm gonna go CeeDee Lamb.
Hamstring watch.
He'll be all right.
Greg.
Big Mike's gonna love me for this. Ayuk.
What?
Ooh.
Look, that's what I'm going with. I mean, I could have very easily said Trevor Lawrence, but I'm not going to do that. Not yet, anyway. I think it's Ayuk, man. That guy puts up big numbers. And CeeDee Lamb is. I mean, that was an easy pick, but I was going to try to be different. CeeDee Lamb, I hate the Cowboys, but he's good too. But Ayuk, and he better show out. He's my starting wide receiver on my fantasy team. All I can say.
He said Brandon Ayuk.
Dummy. Oh, no, you big dummy. You dummy. You big dummy.
Hey.
Dummy.
Big Mike, this fake Willie understand. He don't get it.
He don't understand, man. Brandon Ayuk is that guy, man. I'm telling you, if he got the volume of ball thrown to him like that CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson got, people will really understand, man. But when you realize this dude caught 75 balls on about 109 targets, and he had over 1,300 yards. Think about that. He big plays waiting to happen all the time. He just play on the team that run the ball more than anybody.
And that's the reason why
money for people that can't catch either.
That's the reason why he won't win it. I'm not disputing his talent. I'm not disputing his production. I'm only talking about the system that he plays in. And he has an elite quarterback in Brock Purdy, right, Brian?
No comment.
All right. Did I get everybody? I did get everybody, right?
I didn't get mine.
Mike, go ahead.
You stole my cheetah, so I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna stay in the AFC. I'm gonna give you one. Ain't nobody. I'm gonna say Derrick Henry. I'm gonna go with the big man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the big. Him and Lamar Jackson gonna wreak havoc with that zone read and them RPOs, man. They are going to wreak havoc.
Lamar or Derrick Henry? I mean, I don't want to tackle either one of them two guys.
Man, and if the defensive end crash too hard trying to take Henry, Lamar out the back door. If you stay wide and try to hold Lamar down, Derrick Henry got that head of steam coming at that linebacker. I think he's gonna have a really good year, man.
Still got a lot of tread on the tires too. Have you seen him in the gym lately?
And think about this. He's never played on a football team where he wasn't the focal point. He's never played on a team where everything wasn't about him. Now he goes to Lamar. Yeah, Lamar, Zay Flowers, and what's the tight end name?
Mark Andrews.
He got weapons. Mark Andrews.
And Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all he has to do is his job. He don't have to carry the team. He just has to do his job. oh man, he gonna make some noise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you made a very compelling argument because I almost hit the sounder on YouTube. Greg, you already okay? I got everybody. All right, MVP. Who is going to be the most valuable player in the National Football League for the 2024 season? Brian, your choice is.
I am not going to say the man that's in charge of the Chiefs. I'm not going to say it.
I hate
so
them.
I'm going to say Joe Burrow.
Ooh.
Mike?
He got my guy. Joe Burrow's my guy, but I'm a CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud.
Not if we have anything to say about that.
CJ Stroud.
No sophomore slump. All right, Greg.
Number 16 in your program, number 1 in your hearts. T-Law. He's going to be the man. Just telling you.
You picked him last year.
That's why I love Greg.
And if he didn't get hurt, he put up the numbers too. I'm just telling you.
This team didn't even make the playoffs.
We had injuries. I'm saying if people don't get hurt, you got to stay healthy. Look, if people get hurt in Houston, CJ Stroud's in trouble.
I mean, but that's you can make that argument for anybody.
Willie, name is Trevor Lawrence not one of the top 10 better quarterbacks?
I don't know.
Would you take him in Las Vegas as your starter?
Oh yeah, of course I would do that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but
I would saying that, Greg.
He wouldn't be my first.
I'm just saying. I'm making.
He probably would be my 10th choice. That's what I'm saying.
Was Carson Wentz on the MVP track that year he got hurt? There was
and
nobody
he ain't in the same sense.
I understand, but because he got hurt. Had he not got hurt, nobody in the league was in the same stratosphere as Carson Wentz was that year. And you're telling me we can't make Trevor Lawrence do that? Man,
I shouldn't really shoot holes in your choice, man, because he all jokes aside, he can do it all. And he did get hurt, and we saw what he did against the Chargers against the Chargers in the playoffs a few years ago when he had all those interceptions in the first half and they rallied to win that game. So he obviously has the moxie to do it. He just needs to show me a little bit more. That's it. Right.
Willie,
yeah.
If I may, before we move on to the next section, one dark horse for comeback player of the year that no one said, Nick Chubb. I bet Nick Chubb comes back after watching his training videos and his deadlifting and all that he's been doing. Nick Chubb's gonna wreak havoc.
Here's my concern about that. He's out for the first 4 weeks of the season because he's he'll
have to do something special in the last 13 weeks. So.
And you gotta think, out for the first 4 weeks, and then it's gonna take you a good 2 to 3 weeks to round in a running back shape. That's a tall task. Not saying that he can't do it. I mean, we've seen him come back from these types of injuries before, but I think that's a tall task. All right. Did I get everybody's MVP? Yes, I did. I have Joe Burrow, and I'm not going to pick him again if he doesn't win it this year. He's going to be on the heat with Josh Allen, not Josh Hines Allen, but Joshua Allen that plays in Buffalo. All right. It is time to get to the part where we talk about these teams. And I already know that he's going to make another appearance. So let's just go ahead and bring him in. What teams are going to win a division, wild cards, and ultimately go to the
playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Classic.
Yeah. I got another one, too. How about this one?
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
I like that one better.
I can do a whole show on rants by coaches. But anyway, let's get to the divisions. We're gonna go AFC, and then the wild cards, then NFC, then the wild cards, and then the Final Four, and then who's winning the Super Bowl, and then we gonna bounce. Big Mike.
I know you don't have AFC South or NFC South.
Yeah, I left it out in the rundown that I sent, but then I revised it. So you know, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe it's because New Orleans don't have a football team. Who knows? But anyway, the AFC. Let's start in the AFC. The East. Mike.
Miami.
North.
Cincinnati.
West.
Chiefs.
South.
The Texans.
Wild cards.
Ravens, Buffalo, and Chargers.
Brian, AFC East.
Let's go Jets.
North.
Ravens.
West.
Chiefs.
South.
Duval.
Wild cards.
Dolphins, Texans, and Bengals.
All right. Greg, AFC East.
Brian's cheating off me. I will go with the Dolphins in the East.
North.
Got to be Joe Burrow.
West.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
South.
There's no question. It's Jacksonville.
Wild cards.
I'm going to go with the Ravens for sure. Texans, unfortunately. And the Jets.
All right. And for me, I have the Jets. I have Cincinnati. I have the I hate thems. I have the Texans. I'm sorry. I actually have no, that's right. The Texans. I have the Texans. No, you know what? I actually have Jacksonville winning the South. For my wild cards, I have Buffalo, Baltimore, and Houston. NFC, Mike, East.
Eagles.
North.
Detroit.
West. South.
Them Niners, baby. South, I'm gonna throw one out there. I'm gonna say the Buccaneers.
Wild cards.
We got Dallas, the Rams, and Atlanta.
Brian, NFC East.
Hey, who won the East last year? I forgot.
Cowboys
did win it. All right, I'll go.
Yep.
Eagles.
All right. North.
Let's go Lions.
West.
49ers.
South.
Falcons.
Wild cards.
Bucks, Packers, and Cowboys.
Greg, NFC East.
Philadelphia.
North.
Packers.
West.
49ers. Nobody else over there that can beat them.
South.
Buccaneers.
Wild cards.
Detroit. Atlanta. And Dallas.
All right. For me, I got Philly. I got Detroit. I got San Francisco. I'm going with the Falcons. My wild cards. I got Green Bay. I got the Rams. And I got Seattle.
Ooh.
Which team did I not mention? Y'all all mentioned this team. Which team did I not mention?
The Bucks.
Detroit.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys, that's right.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't put the Cowboys in there.
No.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. I hope they don't win but 3 or 4 games. I don't care.
I guess my question for Cowboys fans is this, and y'all don't have to answer, but this is my question. How can you lose 3/5 of your offensive line? How could you lose one of your better cornerbacks and expect to be better than you were last year? Oh, by the way, you lost your defensive coordinator to the rival Washingtons. I don't think they're going to be the same team. They didn't really address the fact that they can't stop the run. I understand they got Eric Kendricks, but he's a little long in the tooth. But that ain't what they need. They need bodies up front. And therefore, I do not believe the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. Final 4, AFC title game. Mike, go.
AFC title game, we're gonna go Bengals and Dolphins. Bengals and Dolphins.
Brian.
Jags and Chiefs.
Greg.
Jags and Chiefs.
I got Baltimore and Cincy. NFC, Mike.
We're gonna go Niners and Eagles, man.
Greg.
Niners and Eagles.
Brian.
Niners and Lions.
Rematch from last year. I got Philly and Green Bay. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Mike.
Niners and Bengals.
Brian.
Hurts me to say, but Chiefs and Lions.
Greg.
I would say the Jags.
Oh my God.
Jags and the Niners.
I welcome that.
We're gonna have a follow-up show, and you're gonna be. I want to see this big bottle of Old Crow on your desk, Willie, because you're gonna be drinking it, baby.
I really hope you're right.
Faith in Dougie Fresh.
Hope you're right.
As long as I can put one of those lemonade shakers in it, I'll drink it. All right. So who? Oh, my choice: Baltimore and Green Bay. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Mike.
Them Niners. Kyle Shanahan finally get that monkey off his back.
Greg.
Jacksonville. Doug Peterson, Coach of the Year. Let's go. He can do it. He's already done it once.
Brian.
With Eminem running them out on the field with their Detroit Lions flag, Detroit Lions get it done.
Oh, if they bring Kid Rock out too, I'd have to pull for the Lions. That's all there is to it. That'd be unbelievable.
Well, I think I will pay money just to see Eminem and Kid Rock in the same venue. They don't like each other.
Oh,
all right.
They put their differences aside for Detroit.
No, they can't stand one another. All right. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. I think Kid Rock is from the north side and Eminem is from 8 Mile. And if you've ever been to Detroit, 8 Mile is like it ain't
the same. Well, don't forget, hey, we can dust the cobwebs off Kiss and roll them out there with Detroit Rock City. Let's go.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying 8 Mile is a little different over there. All right, so my choice, Baltimore and Green Bay. I've got Lamar Jackson breaking through and getting his first Super Bowl championship. He gets the monkey off his back. And on top of that, he is now going to be mentioned as one of the best to do it with his ring on his finger. Like Beyonce said, he's going to put a ring on it. Shameless plug. Big Mike, give all your information, buddy.
You can find me on Instagram at School Clothes, SKOOL Clothes 2310. You can find me on Facebook, Michael James Hamilton II. You can find my YouTube channel. It's called School in the Game. My YouTube podcast is called School in the Game. The channel is Kings Love Media. And you can find me on Booksy at Magnificent Styles.
One of the dopest barbers in the city. Brian.
Well, you can find me right here on Wednesday night for the Show Sho Nuff Divided at 6:00 p.m. And my Twitter account is at Sooner25411. I am the general of the Stutzman Army.
And shout out to Stutzman for what he did.
We'll get him on the show, Willie. I talked to him. I'm going to get him on the show. Yeah.
All right, bet. I'm looking forward to that because I want to ask him about what he did for these walk-ons when he gave – how much money was it? $50,000?
$50,000 of his NIL money to 16 walk-ons.
That's awesome. That's an amazing story in itself. And here at the ShakeBack Media Group, we're all about the story. So, all right, Greg.
You can catch me on Twitter or X, whatever it's called nowadays, the Monroe Madman. I'm on all the social medias, the Monroe Madman. You can check me out there. And you can find me Saturday nights at Malone Stadium pulling for my Warhawks.
Go General Hawks.
General Booty, that's right.
Go Hawks. All right. That's going to do it for a Show Sho Nuff Divided. Season 3 has begun. The NFL season starts on tomorrow. Good luck to all of the fans out there and your teams. Man, y'all take care of each other. Y'all hug each other. Y'all love each other. We'll holler at y'all again real soon. Peace. We out.